Wow, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I saw Toma redeem. First in chat, hello, thank you. Hello, everybody. Oh, stretch. It was a dark and rainy day today. Jambola, hello. And I am trying my darndest not to get a cold, so if I sound a little stuffy or I'm a little more low energy than usual, sorry. They don't have the heat on in my building yet. How was this new week? Not bad, all things considered. It's dry in here. It is. So I need to break out the humidifier. So we're at that weird period of fall in Canada where daytime is like 23 Celsius, and then nighttime it's like 9 Celsius, so the big old range. Thank you for the head pat. So, what do you mean, Stream starting before 7 p.m.? Did it? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, I did have the React open, but it hadn't logged in, so I had to log in, and that's probably why it was delayed. Now I had everything open, but yeah, sometimes you gotta log back into the app that processes the command, so when I looked back over at the window, I saw it wasn't logged in, and so I was like, okay, here we go. I have a button I can... No, not mix it up. It's VTS React? Yes. It's done through Fugi and Iron Vertex. It connects directly to VTube Studio. So when you guys redeem a head pad, it sends a command to VTube Studio to say, turn on this asset. Is how it does it. I do have Mix It Up. I need to reconfigure it. I was using Mix It Up for getting clips. But my PC was having a bunch of when my PC was having a lot of issues, I had uninstalled that to see if that was why my PC kept locking up, and I just never got back around to putting it back. Gotta heat up dinner? Okay. I have dinner heated up too. Also, hi Zon. I did see you. I don't know if I said hi. My brain is all over the place today. Ugh. Big stretch, big stretch, big stretch. So fun fact today. I introduced my bestie Iduna to the wonders that is Korone Inugami. She knew of her in passing, because Iduna is a huge Sonic fan, and Korone is Sonic's ambassador right now, but she didn't know that Korone was the cause of I'm Die, Thank You Forever. I was like, hey, look, Korone-senpai bringing people together. We've got the VTuber fan, and we've got the Sonic fan, and they're both shaking hands on how great Korone is. So it was delightful. Good times. Like, she occasionally watches VTubers, but the way I was thinking of explaining it to myself is she is the VTuber fan who, if like we turn it into liking idols instead of like VTubers, she's the person who's the fan but only listens to the music. I'm the fan that buys the 50 random Polaroids trying to get the full set of my Oshi and buying acrylic stands and all that stuff. I'm the one that lets it consume their soul. Crazily enough, the one and only time I ever bought VTuber, like, random photo cards was when X-Soleil and Niji Sanji debuted. I was like, I'm gonna buy 6? Because there were 6 of them at the time. I'm like, I'm not gonna go crazy. I got everyone except... who was I missing? Meloko. So for only buying 6 to only have 1 duplicate is considered insanely good luck. I'm like, I can never buy these again. Because they'll never go this well again. Alright, let me... let's see. Move that stuff, move that stuff. I tweeted out earlier that we were gonna stream. I have now tweeted out that we're live. Excuse me, I need to do XYZ. Oh, I just saw your message in the Discord, Zon. I'm glad the kitty will not be left outside. Anytime I see stray cats, especially in like a disaster-prone area, I'm like, no! You're so cute, but please, please go. Please find somewhere nice. No worries. I was like, I'm gonna assume it's someone's indoor-outdoor cat. But it's like, you never know. You never know. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't believe in like indoor-outdoor cats. To each their own, but yeah, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, my cats have been trapped inside for 2 days now before the storm. It's like, you guys are not getting out of my sight. Some cats are better at sticking close to home than others. It's making me think of I'm sure he's passed away because he seemed like an old cat. But like 4 or 5 years ago, I was going for a walk in this neighborhood and a kitty came up to me and he had a collar and it said, "Hi, my name's Benjamin. I can't really hear, but I love being outside and I don't leave the yard." I'm like, okay, fair enough, Benjamin. Power to you, Benjamin. The funniest thing I ever saw, because I have some co-workers who have indoor-outdoor cats, and they were like, "Oh, you know, I feel like I should keep them indoors, but like, you know, like they wouldn't. Oh, what was the wording? It was like they wouldn't let me keep them indoors. I'm like, does your cat know how to open locks? Like, if you, it's like, why is the cat calling the shots here? You're the human with the opposable thumbs. If you decide they're not going outside ever again, they're not going outside ever again unless they sneak out. Like, it was just a particular phrasing, yeah. Professional escape artist, it really depends on the cat, yeah. Cause Iduna has a cat, Whiskey. He likes, he wants to go outside because he likes the texture of the tiles that are on their walkway in, like, their backyard. So, like, he literally just wants to go out there to scratch. Mogu and Pep, when they still lived with me and we were at, or rather, when I still lived with my parents and I had Mogu and Pep, we were careful not to let them near the doors, but at the same time, they also showed no interest in going outside. Like, they wanted to go into every room in the house, but like, they generally avoided the doors. Like they would sit at the doors, especially if someone was coming home, but they wouldn't make like a mad dash for it the way that Whiskey, Iduna's cat, does. Some stray converts bolt for the door, yeah. That might be what's going on with the Whiskey a little bit, because, I mean, as far as we know, he was an apartment cat. But what ended up happening is at one of Iduna's old jobs, she was working for, how would I describe it? It was like a landlord company, but they only rented to students. So like it was different from like, you know, usual like apartment stuff. But either way, they went after someone left to do the cleanup, and like they had just left their cats there when they went back to, they were like a foreign student, so literally it was like straight up they left the cat to go back to their like home country. And that was Whiskey. Poor boy is spoiled rotten now, but yeah, I don't think he was socialized well, so I think he might be wild at heart. People just leaving their pets behind, like, man. Like, what if Iduna hadn't gone and done her checks that particular day? That cat would have gone like a week without food. Poor babies. People, I can understand, especially like, you know, you're in another country, you're probably feeling lonely, but don't abandon the pets. They don't deserve that. Alright. I've got curry I'm munching on here or there, because the rice didn't finish cooking until like 20 minutes before stream started. In a perfect world, I would have started cooking the rice earlier, but, well, I had a nap. You know how it is. You know how it is. Alright. Oh, big stretch. Let's get rolling then. Naps always worth. I thought I would get away today without having a nap because my energy felt good, and then just 5 p.m. rolled around and I'm like, eh. Da, 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 da. All right. Oh wait, where's my twig? There it is. What? Leader? Live there. Can't type for sure today. There. Alright, and I gotta resize the game. Whoop. There. Perfection. Maybe. I think. We'll find out. We'll find out if it's too off-centered or whatever else. Alright. So last time, luckily, nothing too bananas happened. We love that. We got introduced to Lydia, who was a child actor, I guess we would call it. She played, I guess on a children's TV show, magical cleaning princess Lily, something like that. But, obviously, as she got older and puberty hit, her body changed, and then she ended up losing her job because she no longer fit the image that they wanted for Princess Lily. And she was out of show business for a while, and now she's back as an idol. But she, nor anyone that runs into her, has forgotten about her time as Magical Lily. Like, she debuted in her idol group, and all the crowd would cheer as Magical Lily, yay. Instead of, Lydia, which is her real name, and she introduced herself as that, but that's about where we left off. That and, Suzumu, the protagonist, seems to be shit-talking her, like degrading her, insulting her. We're pretty sure that's like some kind of illusion, because, she was talking to, saddest Susuhara, and then normal Susuhara showed up right behind her, so yeah, we got no clue where this is all gonna go, so we're just gonna find out, huh? We're just gonna find out. Surely nothing terrifying will happen. Absolutely not. Alright, here we go. Back to it. Oh! Before I forget, I meant to put a pinned tweet with what I know some of the trigger words would be, because I totally forgot to do that. And I saw Spooky was doing it for Corpse Party, and I'm like, you know what? That's a really smart way to do that. I don't know why I didn't think of it myself. Body dysmorphia. Emotional, mental abuse. That's a big one. I guess physical abuse because of the way Toei gets kicked around. Sexual assault. Good times. This one's a bit of a spoiler, but I saw it when I was skimming through stuff. Child... Oh, what's the proper term for it? Child... exploitation? I think that's the right term for it. General body horror. Okay, I think that covers the spectrum. Yeah, the stuff with the child sexual assault is how I knew sexual assault came up in this game. I was not expecting, Kanae to have it as well. Because nothing... Literally, because I looked up summaries of the routes to get an idea. And literally all it said for Kanae's is the line was... She is horrifically mutated into a caterpillar. And I'm like... Yeah, that is technically an accurate summary of what happened, but, like, it does not... You could have just put, You could have still put something in there about everything else, but okay. Because, I don't know, I don't get triggered by a lot of stuff. I do get uncomfortable, but I have people who straight up, if they didn't know that some stuff is in games, they will have full-on panic attack. The caterpillar was clearly the most relevant info, clearly. Nothing about the thrusting and the roar and, like, the sticky liquid and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool, great. Like, you just could have put horrifically transformed into a caterpillar, the attack mirroring sexual assault or something like that. But yeah, either way. Alright, here we go. Back to it. Back to the Land of Idols, where nothing horrible happens except, you know, abuse. Several other rival units came to the stage after, right? So, Vidya invited Suzumu to come to, like, her concert or something. Flower High left the stave after... Stave? We're off to a great start. Left the stage after announcing my debut and our new song to commemorate it. We took a short break before we had to head for our booth. Helping sell on our single and shaking the customers' hands were both very important jobs. A customer could shake the hand of one member per CD purchase. So, you know, buy 5 CDs, shake everyone's hand. You send them, there you go. The agency was counting the exact number we got, of course, which would influence who took center position. Oh! Yay, popularity contest! So, if Lilia gets it because all the Magical Lily fans bought it, the girls are literally gonna hate her ass. Great. While I already had a sense of the hierarchy, I wasn't naive. I knew it would be an uphill struggle. I had to work hard to keep my smile and remember the faces of everyone who shook my hand. It would be all over if they started thinking I was rude or arrogant. I had to treat them like kings so I could attract the other members' fans one by one by one. Gonna pick up some food, save some horror for me? I'm sure there will be loads left for you. Safe trip to the store and back. Cute girls.
握手は誰をご指名でしょうか。ちーちゃん一筋です。お願いします。リリーちゃん、ずっと応援してました。愛ちゃん指名で。
So we've got I, Chi, and Lilia.
リリーさん、握手してください。おー、リリーちゃん、さすがの人気。またご指名だよ。
Uh-oh.
お買い上げありがとうございます。
Sure thing. Thank you for buying our single.
ピカピカマジックやってください。ピカピカマジックでクリーンクリーン。リリーがお兄ちゃんのハートをホピホピホッピーにしちゃうぞ。リリマジカルリリアちゃん応援に来ました。
Oh no, that's Natsuya.
先輩来てくれたんですか。嬉しいです。学校では言えなかったけど、ここでは言える。
Oh no, what's gonna happen? I couldn't say it back at school, but I can't hear.
俺にピカピカマジックしてください。もう夏やお兄ちゃんは仕方ないな。
Oh, what am I gonna do with you?
それピカピカマジックでお兄ちゃんのハートをクリーンクリーン。
With my sparkle magic, I'll make crazy big brother Natsuya's heart squeaky clean. It was Flower High's rule to go all out until you collapsed. And that's why I had to give the fans what they wanted, even if it killed me. I put on my best smile to show my new self to all those who supported me since I was Magical Lily. To stand out to the hardcore fans who bought enough copies to shake each member's hand. And to make those who'd pick the new member out of curiosity fall for me for real. Thank you so much! I'll keep doing my best, so please support us!
5枚買っちゃいましたよ。5回握手してください。人気すっごいね。さすがマジカルリリー。
My popularity today was like a welcoming ceremony for the new member. Some of these fans would be satisfied to have met me just once in their lives. That wasn't good. Ideally, you want them to come back. You have to make zealous fans out of them. That is how you end up with stalkers. In that sense, the other members' fans were all passionate zealots who kept coming back for more. Magical Lily's fans just came to celebrate her long-awaited return. They hadn't necessarily been converted into the Yakurusu fans. I wondered again if Susuhara was there. I felt like knowing he would be motivating. Idols work hard for everyone's sake. That's a rule set in stone. But a part of me wondered if it was okay to work hard just for Susuhara's sake. At least until he acknowledged the new me, that is, don't worry. The idols work for their own reasons behind the scenes. AKA Oshinoko. Some just want the bag, it's fine. Oh no, I can't think about this sort of thing on the job. I hope Susuhara comes by soon. I could tell he was probably in line. After all, there had been a bond between us since before we'd met. Just then, I felt like I picked up on his signal. Oh my god, girl. There he was. He stood out like a sore thumb in the line, clearly not used to these sorts of events. Oh, did our eyes just meet? Yes, yes, they did.
だったら僕にも近づかない方がいいかもね。僕も汚れてるそうだから。
No, you're such a sweet boy though. Why would he say that to me? No, this wasn't the time. I had to focus on the work before me.
お買い上げありがとうございます。握手は誰をご指名でしょうか。
リリーちゃんでお願いします。
はい。リリーを指名してくれてありがとう。
Oh, she is having straight up delusions. A little girl ran in from behind. It was me, Lily. Cleaning Princess Magical Lily.
リリーちゃん、昔からずっと応援しておりましたぞ。
ありがとう。お兄ちゃん、リリー嬉しいよ。
リリーちゃんのこと、ネットでは劣化したとかなんとか言ってる輩もおりますが。
Oh God.
僕の中ではマジカルリリーの輝きは永遠ですぞ。
Goodbye, Magical Lily's a total hag after 3 years, my wife. Who do Magical Lily's fans even think they are? Lily's totally out of place. She looked really pissed off, too. What's she even doing in Flower High? Her dancing was totally out of sync. Who the hell's that She-Hulk? They should just kick her out already.
ネットは荒れてるみたいですけど、僕はずっとマジカルリリーを応援してますからね。
But I always support Magical Lily.
リリーちゃんがどんなに変わっちゃっても、僕の愛は変わりません。劣化とかオワコンとか言われてますけど、そんなの気にしちゃダメですよ。
A fossil at 15. Wow.
リリー気にしないよ。だってお掃除の国のプリンセスだもん。
せーの、ピカピカマジックで
みんなのハートをクリンクリン。
おー！リリマジカルリリー。
More and more people were asking for Magical Lily. But no one asked for Riri Akurusu.
もう大忙しで参っちゃうね。そこ私の場所。どいてよ、劣化ババア。
Wow! Imagine saying that to yourself. Your
お掃除の国のプリンセスマジカルリリーです。あなたのハートをクリンクリン。そしてあんたはかつて私だった残骸ね。
damn.
あんたね、見てよ私の体。みんなが夢に見る理想の妹。キュートで可愛くてちょっぴり小悪魔。
I'm the little sister everyone wishes they could have. I'm cute as a button with just a touch of mischief in my heart.
抱きしめたら折れちゃいそうなくらいに華奢だけど、そうせずにはいられないほどに愛くるしい。
I know I'm so dainty. I look like I'd break if you hugged me, but I'm so gosh darn cute you can't help but want to anyway. I knew those words. I had said them all in my head long ago.
それに比べてあんたのその体はな。
But look at you. What can you say about your own body?
マジカルリリーは永遠のお姫様なの。あんたの なんかどっかに行っちゃえ。
Well, this is something.
汚い化け物。ピカピカマジックでクリーンクリーン。
What?
リリー、大丈夫？立ちくらみ？
Oh God. Lily, are you okay? Have you been standing too long? Huh? Oh,
張り切りすぎだよ。休んだら？
you've been working yourself to the bone. Why don't you take a break?
ありがとうございます。握手は誰をご指名なさいますか？
クルスリリアさんで。
That was the first time today anyone had called me Lilia Kurusu. Susu Hara.
見てたよ
I was watching you.
踊り。すごい頑張ってたね。
That was some great dancing.
君のリリーとは違う新しいクルスリリアを
Today, you showed me a brand new Lilia Kurusu.
しっかり見せてもらったからね。
Completely different from Lily. My eyes were so fogged up with tears I couldn't see anything. I knew there was something special about Susuhara. I didn't care if others didn't understand. As long as he did, that was all I needed. I shook his hand. Susuhara's hand was cool, but when I held it, I felt something frozen in my heart begin to thaw.
おお、ススハラじゃねえか。お前も来てたのかよ。
いやあ夏くんこんなところで会えるとは思わなかったよ。
Hi, Natsu. I didn't think I'd see you here.
誰目当てで来たんだ？やっぱリリアちゃんか？
Was it Lydia? Did you come to watch Lydia?
マジカルリリーの良さをこれほど短時間で気づくとは。さすがススハラ。グレイトな男だぜ。
Can't believe you came around to her so quickly.
リリアちゃん頑張ってたね。
Lydia sure worked hard, didn't she?
ダンスもキレッキレだったよな。さすがはマジカルリリーだぜ。
And her dancing was out of this world. That's magical Lily for you.
ところでさシングルってどこで売ってるの？
ああ、お前まだシングル買ってねえのかよ。あんグレイト。
And great.
リリアちゃんに挨拶していきたくてささっきから迷子になってるんだよ。
I want to go say hi, but I'm totally lost.
ススハラを迷子にさせるとはな。この会場は実にグレイトだぜ。俺が案内してやるよ。こっちだぜ。あれこっちだったか。
Oh my god. Natsu.
迷うでしょ？
See? Easy to get lost, isn't it? Late that night, my phone started glowing. I didn't know the number, but I had my suspicions.
はい。
Hello?
ススハラです。夜分遅くにごめんね。
It's Susuhara. Sorry for calling so late.
いえ。なんか予感してましたから。
Oh, it's no trouble. I had a feeling it'd be you, you know. For a moment, I wondered how Susuhara got my number. But I didn't feel the least bit unsettled. You probably should. After all, I wanted to know what his number was too.
なんでしょうか。
So, what is it? Good question. What a weirdo. But it sounded like he hadn't figured out entirely. After all, I was the one who had business with him. But I couldn't think of what it was. No, that wasn't it. Maybe I just felt I didn't need any silly reason to talk to him.
カーテン開けてみて。
Why don't you take a look out the window?
カーテンって。私の部屋のですか？
Wait, do you mean mine? I stood up and opened the nearby curtain. I saw the residential district blanketed by night, same as always. But there was a familiar face under the streetlight in front of the house.
散歩でもどうかなって思って。
this is how you get murdered. Like, how does he even know where you live? When I look back on this event, I realize I should have questioned it more. You should have, yes. I never told anyone my home phone number, to say nothing of my cell number. It wouldn't have taken much thought to realize he shouldn't have known it. But at the time, he was all I could think about. Suzuhara understood me completely, so I didn't find anything strange about him knowing my number. You know what they say about something being blind? And so I devoted myself to that thing that looked like Suzuhara, without finding anything odd about it. But don't get me wrong, Suzuhara. It's not like I trusted your doppelganger specifically. Oh, there's straight up calling it out that it's a doppelganger. Okay. I trusted it because I thought it was you. Her outfit's very cute. We know it was probably only me talked about a lot. I felt like I could tell him anything. We shared several nights like that. He knew the more I vented, the better I felt. But all I vented about were my own weaknesses. The more I admitted them, the more I became addicted to him, like a drug. Eventually, I came to depend on that thing that resembled Suzuhara with every fiber of my being. Before him, I was no more than a little girl bearing her weaknesses and unleashing her troubles. I told him everything and believed whatever he said without question. But I didn't mind if he thought I was weak. I think you're still trying to make up your mind, if you ask me. About what? About whether to make a new start as Lilia Kurusu, or to keep existing as Magical Lily. It wouldn't hurt nearly as much if I could decide just that easily. True. By no means did I hate Magical Lily. Are you sure about that? She'd brought me to the height of my popularity, the manifestation of the first and last stroke of luck in my life. I did want to let go of her if I did have to. What I really wanted was to stay as Magical Lily forever. But my body just keeps getting uglier and uglier.
私だってこんな体にならなきゃずっとリリーでいたかった。
I mean, I can understand the pain of growing up and losing a role because of that, but I mean, you were always gonna get too grown up to be Lily. Like, no matter how young you look, you're never gonna be able to replace a child actor. Like, so there's the truth. I'm proud of you, Lydia. That was the first time you'd said my name so tenderly. It felt so good, like we'd grown closer than ever before. I felt tears rain down my cheeks.
マジカルリリーには戻れない。
I can't go back to being Magical Lily.
応援してくれたみんなが劣化だのババア化だのノッポだの。
All my old fans say such horrible things about me now.
だから私はクルスリリアに生まれ変わらなければならないのよ。
That's why I have to be reborn as Lydia Kurusu. If there was a way you could go back, would you take it? It did sound like he was just spouting nonsense then. I knew that if it were possible, I'd want to do it more than anything. That's right. You must have been waiting for me to say that.
それは
What is it?
君は信じてくれるかな。いや、いくらなんでも無理だよね。
Would you believe me? I doubt it. It's far too preposterous.
何ですか？もったいぶらないで見せてください。
What is it? Please tell me. He took something out of his pocket and showed it to me. Well, that's just sus. That's just very suspicious, my dear. It was a small black bottle. Upon closer inspection, I realized it was the contents that were black. They swayed back and forth when Susuhara shook the bottle. Fine grains, like sand in an hourglass.
何ですか？それ。
What is it that?
インドのずっと北の少数部族に伝わるとても珍しい薬草の粉末なんだ。
It's a fine powder made from extremely rare medicinal plants, passed between a select few tribes in the northern reaches of India. Of course it's India. The Far East will never escape the mysticisms of, you know, being a magical culture. Good old Orientalism.
その部族では知恵者である長老を延命させるためにある飛薬を使っていたんだって。
Those tribes use a secret medicine to keep their elderly sages alive longer.
それがこれ。
And this is it.
延命の飛薬。
It extends your life?
その噂が古代中国に伝わり、不老不死の薬と語られたこともあるんだそうだよ。
It seems rumors of a medicine that bestowed eternal youth and life made their way to ancient China as well.
さすがに不死の効果はないよ。人は必ずいつか死ぬ定めなんだから。
But it can't give eternal life. All humans are fated to die someday.
でも、
However,
不老の効果は本物なんだ。
The youth part is true.
不老って老いないってことですか？
You mean she won't age?
全身の細胞を活性化させ、長老の老化を食い止めることができたんだ。
It can stimulate the body's cells to hold back the aging process.
でも、もともと全身の細胞がすでに老化している人にはその程度の効果しかない。
That's the only effect it has on the elderly.
若者が摂取すると若返りの効果があるんだ。
But if someone young were to take it, it would reverse their aging process. See, this was believable up until it would reverse the aging process. If they could have stopped her aging at like 15 so she wouldn't get quote unquote worse, that would have at least been believable. No way. That was the first thing that came to mind, but I didn't say it. Because if I did, my last hope would be gone forever.
嘘なんかじゃないよ。ちゃんと聞く。
It's not impossible. I have proof.
誰か試したんですか？
Has someone tried it? Yeah.
僕がその証拠だよ。
Was me? Huh?
僕はいくつくらいに見える？
Oh, now this is gonna get weird. Tell me, how old do I look to you? I understood what he was implying, but that would mean
普通の高校生に見えます。
like a high schooler.
違うんですか？
Is that wrong?
僕の本当の年齢はもっともっと上なんだ。
The truth is, I'm far older than that. That couldn't be. Susuhara had a baby face. He could definitely pass for a middle schooler. Actually, had we not met at school, I'm almost certain I would have mistaken him for one. Susuhara whispered his true age to me, but that would make him older than my father. I just couldn't believe it. Does she not know that Tsubakiko is like his cousin? She would be able to refute this instantly. Because she met him 10 years ago at a funeral.
僕はものすごい未熟児として生まれてね。半年は生きられないと言われてたんだ。
I was born very early, you see. My parents were told I wouldn't last half a year.
幸いにも1歳の誕生日を迎えられたけれど、病院で管につながれたままの。
Fortunately, I made it to my first birthday, but I had to stay in the hospital on life support the whole time.
もちろん保育園も無理だし。
Naturally, I couldn't go to kindergarten, much less regular school.
ずっと来年までは生きられないと言われ続けて、それを繰り返して。
I kept getting told I wouldn't make it to the end of the year. Yet, I kept surviving at every turn. Normally, you just write this off as nonsense. But, though it sounded unbelievable, I found myself accepting this story. I told him everything about myself, so I wanted to accept everything he told me about himself. No matter how strange it sounded.
幸いにも僕は成人してから少しずつ健康になっていってね。
Fortunately, I grew healthier once I approached adulthood.
20代の頃には少し病弱な程度の。
By my 20s, I had a normal body that was only slightly weaker than average.
僕は保育園にも小学校にも通ったことがない。
But I never got to attend kindergarten or grade school.
誰もが当たり前に通ったはずの学校。そこに通えなかったことは僕にとってあまりに悲しいことだった。
I was so sad I couldn't live the way my peers had.
僕は当たり前の子供時代をぽっかりと失って。
I lived to be an adult. at the cost of losing my childhood.
そんな時偶然
It was at that time that I happened across this medicine.
じゃあ先輩はそれを飲んで
Then that means you took it and became young again? Mm-hmm.
おかげで小学校中学校そして高校の生活をこうして送ることができたんだよ。
Thanks to that, I've been able to attend grade school, middle school, and now high school.
信じられない
That's unbelievable.
僕は一度きりの生を普通に送りたかっただけ。
I just wanted to live a normal life.
生まれつきの体質でそれが叶わなかったけどこの薬のおかげでそれを取り戻せた。
My body might have stolen that from me, but this medicine gave me a second
だ
chance.
からこの薬は僕にはもう
So, I no longer need it.
じゃあそれを
Then you'll
君さえ良ければあげるよ。
I'll give it to you if that's what you want. He gave me the bottle. Can you believe it? I was holding a medicine. Too fantastic even for most fairy tales. Nice little music shift. Oh yeah. The sound design in this is fantastic. But if this was a dream, I did want to wake up. Because with this, I could have my adorable body back. The one that made me the lily everyone knew and loved. It is quite a bit louder though. Oh god. The balance is not... The balance is not ideal. Even with my headphones and my end, I could barely hear the voices. But that, of course, was all a total lie. Actually, while I think of it. Oh, no, not quit. Just the music, that's the only thing that changed? Oh yeah, I know. Sound? Ah, the music volume's already so low, and the voice volume's at max. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Just how crazy was I to believe in it? Pretty bananas. A medicine that turned back the biological clock? That sort of thing would have made international news ages ago if it were real. Huh? You think it's sadder that I thought you had a baby face? Sorry. Well, I guess we know she survives whatever this ordeal is as if she's talking to normal Suzuhara. But I never could have dreamed he was lying. Because I trusted you. That's why I took the shady medicine without question. I decided to use it right away, just like he told me to. I would cleanse myself in the bath, then put a little bit of the powder in my palm. The smooth black grains quickly melted into ink in my warm hand. When I poked it with my finger, I saw it was pure liquid. No matter how much I stirred it, it remained the same inky black. And so I covered my hands with it. My palms became pitch black, not like the darkness of ink. Resolving myself, I covered my belly with it. The darkness never faded, no matter how much I spread it around. Just as Suzuhara had said, even just a little bit of it was enough to cover my whole body. Eventually, I looked in the mirror to discover I looked like a jet black mannequin. Only my eyes still held any shine, making me look like a monster peeking out of the darkness. But I couldn't let it bother me. I was already enough of a monster as it is, so nothing that happened with my body could faze me anymore. But I was only jet black at first. Just as he told me, the color started to fade, like it was being sucked into my body. The black faded away with each passing moment, and after a few minutes was gone, like it never been there to begin with. I ran my finger across my skin, only to feel something twitching underneath it. Oh, that is disturbing. I didn't find it strange at all. I figured the lymph circulation must be improving my metabolism. Girl, you're growing worms!
私変わってる。
He was right. I'm changing. I felt the change right away the next morning. It wasn't much, but I could tell since I looked in the mirror every day.
私幼くなってる。
I'm getting younger.
それはすごいね。ほんの数日で実感できるくらいに変化があるなんて。
That's incredible. I didn't expect you to actually feel change in just a few days.
先輩と違って私現役 JK ですんで。
Unlike you, I'm high school aged.
細胞が若いから僕よりもずっと効きがいいんだろうね。
Then it's probably having a stronger effect on you since your cells are younger.
これを毎日続けていけばもっともっと若返れるんですよね。
I'll get younger and younger if I use this every day, right?
でももうもらった分がなくなっちゃいました。
But I've already run out.
大丈夫だよ。持ってきてるから。
Don't worry, I have more.
次は肌になじませたら内側からなじませないといけない。
Once your skin gets used to it, you need to get used to it on the inside too.
でも今度は少し刺激が強いと思う。
But I think the kick will be a bit harder this time.
内側からなじませるって
What,
どうやるんです？
what does it involve?
そんな難しいことじゃないよ。
It's not that hard.
教えてあげるから。
I'll show you.
でも若い分きっと反動が強いと思うんだ。
However, I think the side effects will get stronger the younger you get.
痛いとかうずくとかその程度なら全然平気です。
I could take a few aches and pains if that's all it involves.
体の根本を作り直すからね。しばらく風邪に似た症状が出るかもしれない。
You're rebuilding the foundation of your body, so you might have symptoms similar to a cold for a while.
僕の時でも熱が出たような感じで少しふらついた。
Back when I did it, I used to get dizzy from the fever.
それくらい全然。
That's nothing.
じゃあ
Oh, those eyes. Then I'll show you how to use it. I was such an idiot. I actually took that mysterious powder, as told, and I put it inside this time too. But I actually felt like I was getting younger. I believed that I could return to my heyday as Magical Lily. And I could show you just how special I was. Oh, you gotta smoke it. Wow. Tube-shaped piece of rolled up paper and put it in my mouth. In hindsight, I think that thing was smiling when he saw me do that. Like he knew he dragged me into something from which I could never turn back.
吸ってみて。むせないように。
Oh, girl. I hadn't felt anything when I applied it to my skin, but this time I immediately felt dizzy. Considering how Japan goes overboard from just a little marijuana, the fact it looks like she's smoking pot, if someone sees this, like, her life is over. Like, not just her idle life, like, literally, she's gonna get expelled from school. I ignored it and continued to inhale, and before long, I felt a heat build up in me as though my chest were on fire. It was a bit dazed, like when you spend too much time in a bath. Not even the spiced sake I've had for New Year's made me feel like this. Susuhara was right to say this had a lot more kick. If just inhaling a little was enough to cause all this, by the time I finished taking the entire dose, my body was burning up so badly I wanted to throw my clothes off. It told me that was a sign my cells were working to make me younger. Even after I went to bed and closed my eyes, the fire in my chest didn't fade. Quite the opposite, I felt aches different from the pounding of my heart, along with something coursing through my body. It was like I had a swarm of worms crawling through my lymph nodes and blood vessels. Yeah, you've got worms, great. Normally, I'd be disgusted by the sensation, but I saw it as a sign my body was trying to turn young. By the next morning, I couldn't get out of bed anymore. I had a high fever, my body was swollen, and my joints ached. My mother said it was probably a cold, and scolded me for going too far on my nightly walks. But I couldn't afford to stop my secret meetings with Susuhara. There was a precise dosage and so on involved, so I couldn't take it without his instructions. I had to keep this going until I got Magical Lily's body back. I stayed in bed with a high fever through the day, snuck out when I was feeling a little better at night, and had Susuhara give me the medicine. This routine went on for several days. My parents told me to go to the hospital, but I didn't want a doctor to order me to stop, so I skipped in secret. My face in the mirror looked haggard. However, I was convinced this was part of the process of destroying my monstrous body from within. Oh, you girl. And then 1 week had passed since I started taking the medicine. By this point, I was starting to get vertigo in addition to the high fevers, and it was a struggle just to get out of bed. I figured my parents would call an ambulance if I made a fuss. So I put up with it all, no matter how hard it got. Once my rendezvous time with Susuhara drew near, I forced myself up, despite all the pain. My fever was so bad that day I could barely move. But my phone was beeping to let me know the time to meet Susuhara had come, and so I hurried onward. I had started seeing the world as mushy and distorted. It felt like it was pulsating from time to time. I couldn't even tell if I was walking on my own 2 feet, or if I was rolling about while still asleep. Even the handrail by the stairs I'd grown so accustomed to warped in my eyes, and it took a lot of effort to get down the stairs without falling. Fortunately, my parents didn't notice, and I managed to get outside. Fortunately. An odd choice of words, isn't it? I'd have been much more fortunate if I just collapsed then and there. It really is strong. It must be because you're young. Huh?
どうした？
What's wrong?
熱かな。おかしく見える。
You look weird. Is it fever? I knew that had to be Susuhara, but he looked very different. I figured that it must have been the fever messing up my vision, but while his voice was the same, his body wasn't. It was like he was a big black shadow. Oh, hi! We've seen you a few times. He had long black hair that fell to the ground, and horns that looked like withered branches growing out of his head. The dim glow from the streetlight didn't illuminate much, so I couldn't even see the look on his face. But his voice was still Susuhara's, so I still believed it was him.
今夜の服用で薬はおしまいだよ。
Tonight's dose will be the end of the medicine.
あとは楽にして時間に任せて体が作り変わっていくのを待つだけだから。
Afterwards, just rest. Let time do the work and wait for your body to change. Susuhara's voice sounded odd from time to time. Something must have been up with my ears. I was in a daze on the verge of collapse. But it was the last time, so I endured, figuring I could sleep all I wanted later. At Susuhara's urging, we sat down by the park's flower bed. When he did, he opened his right hand and tilted his palm downward. Something seemed to flutter down from it. It was black and light, like a tiny feather, but it reflected no light, even under the glow of the streetlights. Beginning her to smoke the soot or something? And then what looked like black snow or soot began raining down. Susuhara caught it in his left palm, forming a small mountain. He then kneaded it with his hands, changing it into the shape of a thin tube. This was the last of the medicine. But this was the end of the line for me. I was dizzy. I couldn't even trust what I was seeing. Susuhara must have realized that, because he took my hands and helped me.
さあ、頑張って。
Go ahead. Do your best.
これで最後の薬だよ。
This is the last of the medicine.
これを吸い込めば呪いのすすが
Ah, it is the cursed soot. Once you inhale this, the soot will spread throughout your whole body.
これで私マジカルリリーに戻れる
This
ですよね。
will turn me back into Magical Lily. Right?
戻れるよ。
Whoa!
吸って
Oh, those eyes, man. That is the worst face we've seen this game. I did as I was told. I inhaled it deep into my lungs. And when I did, my head was filled with a burst of pure light. I was still dazed, but the sense of fatigue and suffocation that had plagued me cleared right up. I'd hit the peak. My week of penance must have finally borne fruit. Just then, I saw someone slowly walk out of the light. It was a little girl. It was me. Back in the good old days, when I was petite and adorable. Tears of gratitude welled in her eyes, and she smiled appreciatively at me.
私を取り戻すために頑張ってくれてありがとう、ババア。
Nice.
ババアは余計よ。
That's going too far.
これで私たちはマジカルリリーを取り戻せるよ。
Now we can finally get Magical Lily back.
あんたは私と一つになるの。
You and I will become one.
これで一番輝いてたあの頃を私たちは取り戻せるわ。
And with that, we can take back that time where we shined the brightest.
認めてもらえるかな。
Well, Susuhara, acknowledge me?
もちろんだわ。私の微笑みに耐えられる男の子なんているわけないもん。
Of course he will. There's no guy out there who can resist my smile except, you know, normal people who aren't into children.
それも鈴原先輩のためだけに微笑むの。
And it'll be a smile just for him.
みんなのリリーじゃない。先輩だけのリリーになるの。
I won't be anyone's Lily anymore. I'll be Susuhara's Lily and nothing
そう
else.
したら絶対先輩のハートを私だけのものにできるんだから。
And then I can take his heart for my own. I just know it.
できるわ。だってその姿こそが私の一番なんだから。
Oh, girl. Lily slowly embraced me. I hugged her back. I felt the heat in my chest merge with the one in hers.
あなたは私という体にできた吹き出物。ニキビみたいなもの。
You're a boil on my body, like a pimple.
それをきれいさっぱり落とせば本当の私の体に帰ることができる。
Oh, she's gonna come like... This is like chest burster style. I hate this.
私の化け物みたいな体を。
Once we get rid of my body once and for all.
元に。もうお薬はすべて飲んだから、あとは寝て待つだけ。
You took all that medicine, so all that's left is to sleep and wait.
それで私は蘇れるの。そして鈴むお兄ちゃんだけの私になるの。
Excuse me. Oh, this is one way to get rid of your romantic rivals, Toei.
早く私という吹き出物を消し去ってしまおう。そして早く綺麗な私になって会いに行こう。
Uh-oh. I guess that's the paparazzi. All of a sudden, I heard tires screeching as a car quickly took off. That sound brought me back to my senses, clearing some of the haze in my mind.
どうしたの？
What's wrong? Oh,
なんでもないです。急に頭がすっきりして。
nothing, just... My mind suddenly became a lot clearer.
峠を越えたんだね。飛躍の効果が君の体の中に行き渡ったんだよ。
That means you've gotten past the hard part. The medicine is spreading through your body.
待つだけだよ。
Everything will be fine now. All you have to do is wait.
待つだけ。
All I have to do is wait.
待つだけで大丈夫だよ。
Yes, you'll see. The dumbest thing you ever did. Magical Lily. With those final words, the thing that looked like Susuhara faded into the darkness. I suddenly found myself worried. One sec, I gotta blow my nose. There we go. Oddly enough, the medicine had felt more real when it had been, excuse me, when it was causing my body to suffer. Now that it all cleared up, I wondered if its effects had already stopped working. Looking back, it was nice other than to make the caterpillar chapter the shortest one. Yeah. I assume this is nearly over for her, but yeah. I mean, Magical Lily's gonna come out chestburster style any second now. The effects that would purge the ugly boil that I was from Lily would arrive soon, and before the week had ended, I saw it happen. A few days after I was well enough to go back to school, Morning, Natsuta!
挨拶なんてしてる場合じゃねえぜ。見たかよこれ。
Uh-oh. So that probably was a paparazzi.
学校に週刊誌とか持ってきたら怒られるんじゃない？
The teachers are gonna get mad at you for bringing a magazine to school, you know.
あれ？クルスリリアってリリアちゃんの記事？
Is this an article about Lydia? Yeah. Flower High member Lydia Kurusu caught smoking at night. Ah, there we go. Rest in pieces. The former magical Lily, after a 3-year hiatus from... Let's try that again. The former magical Lily, after a 3-year hiatus from the peak of her popularity, made headlines with her stunning return as the newest member of Flower High, only to be caught in a major scandal. The pure idol, now a delinquent smoker. RIP. I got you, girl. They got you good.
そんなわけないよ。リリアちゃんにタバコの匂いなんてしなかった。
That can't be right. I didn't smell any smoke on Lydia.
すごいね。匂いでわかるんだ。
Wow, you can tell by the smell? Never smelled smoke in your life, huh?
リリアちゃんがタバコなんて吸うわけがねえ。絶対にガセだぜ。
It's all lies! Lydia Kurusu's stunning wanderlust caught smoking all alone at night in the park. Coming back into the limelight after a 3-year hiatus must have been stressful, sure, but she's still a minor. Even if it were adult, it would have been a shock to her fans that the Princess of Cleaningland smokes.
写真はリリアちゃんにそっくりだね。
The girl in the photo is a dead ringer for Lydia.
全然似てねえよ。ちょっと似てるだけの別人に決まってるぜ。
Boy is Delulu to the maximum. The photo appeared to have been taken with a zoom lens. It showed Lilia sitting all alone in the park at night with what appeared to be a cigarette in her mouth. She was in casual clothes, so she was a far cry from the glamorous girl on stage. But there was no doubt it was Lilia Kurusu herself.
これは君本人で間違いないのか?
This is you, isn't it? Yes, the girl in the photo was unmistakably me. Come to think of it, I'd heard a car speeding off into the night that day. They must have been photographers or something. There was no way they'd believe me about the de-aging medicine even if I explained it. To an onlooker, all they saw was a cigarette. This is just... My lack of words was as good as a confession. But it wasn't shock that rendered me speechless. The mist still clouding my head made this all feel worlds away. Because of that, I found the guidance counselor's interrogation tiresome. Somewhat exasperated, I decided to readily admit I'd been smoking. As a result, I was suspended from school. But I didn't really care anyway. School did nothing to help me sing and dance, much less earn Suzuhara's recognition. All that mattered was getting Lily's charm back. School was pointless compared to that. My mother gave me an earful back at home. She was sharp. She knew I would never do this on my own. Thus, she demanded the name of the instigator from me. I didn't care about the rest. But hearing Suzuhara get bad-mouthed would have angered me. So instead, I gave her some sob story about how I was too stressed, that I felt trapped, that all the cruel comments on the internet had hurt too badly. For some reason, she apologized at the end, saying she must have driven me into a corner. She also apologized for not recognizing my efforts, but I wasn't interested. The only recognition I wanted was from Suzuhara. Even the bigwigs at the agency gave me a hard time. They yelled at me for doing this at such a vital period for Flower High's future. Honestly, I didn't care about Flower High School anymore. So long as I could get Magical Lily back, I would make it on my own. After much uproar, I was sentenced to an indefinite suspension from idol work. It seemed my name was promptly wiped from Flower High School's roster. Perhaps the situation was a lot more serious than I thought. But couldn't bring myself to give a damn about any of it. Back when I was Magical Lily, the agency had done nothing but cling to my shadow. Besides, I didn't want their recognition. Just Susuhara's. My body still felt like lead. That night, my mother was crying in the living room. But I didn't care at all. It all felt so disconnected. Yeah, that's what dissociation is, my girl. Just then, I got a visitor. Suhara had come to see me. Normally, I would have been... Whoops! Normally, I would have been surprised that he'd come in without knocking. But that didn't matter. Suhara. The medicine is working beautifully. What do you mean? That ugly boil on you is falling off. Finally, then, I'd understood. I was a boil, a pimple, a tumor, pus. That was why I, Riria Kurusu, had to wither and be erased. Yes, the medicine had taken effect all right. 'Cause now, it was over for Riria Kurusu, wasn't it? Then I can become Lily and earn your recognition. That's right. I know everyone will love you again. Wants to go back to being that adorable little angel that is. I want to go back and show you when I was at my cutest. But when will that day come? Riria Kurusu has already wasted away by now. So, when will I get Lily's body back? It won't be long now. Can you feel the change? I didn't notice because it was so faint. But I did indeed feel my body changing. My joints and blood vessels were throbbing.
君はこれからさなぎになるんだ。
Soon, you will be a chrysalis. Oh, one sec, guys. Cat thing. I'll leave you guys with this terrifying. Okay, I'm back. And oh no, Jambola has been indoctrinated. A chrysalis. Good old chrysalis.
そして生まれ変わってはい
Then you will be reborn as Lily. He was right, though. My body felt like it was melting on the inside. My skin felt dry and bulky. So that was it. I was becoming a chrysalis. Susuhara sounded surprised. Oh! Okay, hi! The dolls are here! Those pinpricks in the darkness were all focused on their prey. Good times. They had Susuhara surrounded. I couldn't even begin to count how many there were.
なんだこいつらは。
What are these? Well, have fun. Susuhara sounded panicked for the first time. Goodbye, Susuhara. Nice guys truly do finish last, or something like that. I got the impression something terrifying was happening, but the haze in my head prevented me from, connecting to it. This is fine. Or something. Probably. Oh, yeah, there's the dolls. Hello. Hi, girlies. How's it going? You doing good? Did you guys go out for brunch after all last week? How did it go? No one told me anything. How was it? Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna leave you guys to your tea party then. Peace. The dolls shuffled and charged at Susuhara as though to devour him? I didn't know they could run. Bros being eaten from the ankles up. Susuhara's voice sounded distorted again. Perhaps all death cries do. Okay, bye. The dolls were tearing off his skin! Oh, Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Something repulsive that I couldn't possibly imagine where his innards squirmed in his place? I think our definition of nice is a little different. Do you not know what sarcasm is? At that moment, I finally understood. That thing wasn't Susuhara, it was just something pretending to be him. Congratulations! You finally caught on, girl. Good for you. It must have taken advantage of my weakness and donned the form of my beloved Susuhara in order to approach me. Good times. Good times. The dolls gnawed into the monster's bleeding flesh and entrails and drank them out. Oh. Not the munching. the fake Susuhara right as it changed into a pile of guts, which amassed before the dolls. Oh, okay. And when I saw that, I came to an epiphany. Really? Did you? That thing had tricked me. You could never turn back the biological clock. I'd totally bought into its story. And just did whatever it told me to. No, but then... Did that mean I wouldn't get my old body back? That's what you're worried about, girl? If so, then what was the point of losing Lilia Kurusu? There was no point. I hate to tell you. No, I was going to turn into a chrysalis. And when I woke up, I'd be Lily again. Totally. The room around me changed. Before I even knew it, it was white. White as angel feathers. No! This wasn't my room. Where was I? Welcome to the hospital. My body felt funny. My skin was stiff and aching. It hurt when I moved my arm. It was only natural after all. There was a thick needle connected to a tube stuck into it. An IV was dripping from the other end. So this was a hospital then. I felt something large lying next to my head. Oh! Okay. Not as bad as I was expecting. As soon as she said something large lying there next to me, I thought it was gonna be Susuhara's head. I'm gonna be completely honest. The doll is much less terrifying. It was a new, beautiful doll that'd been well groomed. It made sense. No wonder I had weird dreams with this thing in my bed. Toei came to see her. I almost had a heart attack there. Kurokami had been standing next to my bed the whole time, watching me. So I guess Kurokami can use the doll in like exorcism stuff. I was surprised, but the pain, fatigue, and disorientation I felt far outweighed that. Where are we? The hospital. Perhaps I should have been more surprised I was holding an intelligible conversation with Kurokami. This doll, did you actually come to visit me? Leave it there. No, thank you. I moved on from sleeping with dolls long ago. Ow! I tried to push the doll away, but even the slightest movement filled me with sharp pain. It seemed it'd be easiest on me if I just lay there. I did nothing, like that doll. Why am I in the hospital?
お前はもう死ぬから。
Cause you're going to die.
だから言った。あいつは汚れてるから近寄るな。
I warned you. I told you he was corrupted. To stay away from him.
だったら僕にも近づかない方がいいかもね。僕も汚れてるそうだから。
After all, I'm corrupted, apparently. I didn't think this is what you meant, my girl.
先輩が汚れてるんですか？
さあね。でもさっきやった黒髪さんが僕にそう言うんだ。
You people need to leave this stream alone. We don't want your spam.
僕は汚れているから二度と近づくな。不幸が訪れるって。
わけわかんない。
I don't understand.
なんで鈴原先輩に近づいちゃいけないんですか？
Why should I stay away from Susuhara?
あれはすすにまみれてる。
He's smeared in soot.
は？
What?
私たちを惑わす呪いはすすを求めるから。
The curse seeks soot. So it deceives us.
わけわかんない上に余計なお世話です。
Lydia, you're kind of being an asshole. Then again, she always kind of was an asshole.
私のことはどう言おうと勝手ですけど、先輩の悪口はやめてください。
Say whatever you'd like about me, but please don't speak ill of Susuhara.
それが呪い。
That's the curse.
はあ？
What?
私たちはあれのすすに惹かれる。
We're attracted to his soot. I
お前とて
see.
なぜあれに惹かれるのか理由などわからぬはずだ。
You must have found yourself attracted to him for reasons you couldn't comprehend. Hello, Velmo. What was she going on about? My body hurt. My mind was in a daze, and I could barely move. Yet she had the gall to put that creepy doll next to me and start spouting nonsense? What was wrong with her? I mean, many things, but...
わかりませんが、あなたと話すと疲れます。
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm exhausted just talking to you.
誰か呼んでくれませんか？喉が渇きましたね。
Could you call for someone? I'm thirsty.
お前の母親が下にいた。呼べば喜んで飛んでくるだろう。
Your mother is right outside. I'm sure she'd be happy to drop in.
それと、この気持ち悪い人形、持って帰ってく
Also,
ださい。
please take that doll with you. Intense pain accompanied my attempt to move. It felt like my whole body was shattering apart. But I didn't want to see this creepy thing a second longer, so I fought hard to pick it up. If the cursed girl says keep the doll near you, you should probably keep the doll. However, the pain was so great that I ended up dropping it on the floor. And at that precise moment, I blacked out.
いらないなら持って帰るけど、
I'll take it if you don't need it.
あんたの寿命がそれで終わるだけ。
but that will merely mark the end of your lifespan. What? Before I knew it, the doll I dropped on the floor was being pressed into my chest. It seems I had only been unconscious as long as the doll had been away from me. But my condition was clearly worse than before. The sense of swelling in my abdomen I managed to ignore earlier was now overwhelming me. Oh, great! This really is chest bursters. No way. I couldn't even stay conscious without having this creepy doll at my side? Oh. Right. I was becoming a chrysalis. This had to be why I was feeling so terrible. But that also meant I'd soon be reborn. But there was a part of me exasperated by my lingering belief in that notion. Was I becoming a chrysalis to get Lily back? Or had I merely been deceived by that monster disguised as Susuhara? Well, what do you think, girl? I couldn't tell anymore. So, all I could do was believe in the more hopeful possibility. I won't die. No. If I do die, all that means is Lilia Kurusu will vanish. Soon, I'll break out of this shell and be reborn as Lily. He's like, wow, this is sad. Kurokami probably did understand a word I said. I couldn't blame her. I was just mumbling nonsense. What are you doing here? Anyway.
奇病に侵されて嫁へ行くばくと聞き、様子を見に来た。
I came to check on you when I heard you'd come down with a strange illness and didn't have much time left. A strange illness. Well, I suppose that's not inaccurate. But I was too late. There's no longer anything I can do for you. Mind your own business. Well, That's a nice thing to say to someone who was worried about you, but okay. The sense of swelling in my abdomen grew stronger and stronger, and it was so hard to breathe that I broke out in a cold sweat. Ooh, here we go. It must have been because I dropped that doll earlier.
お前は死ぬ。
You're going to die?
どうも
Good to know.
しかしそれも定めかもしれぬ。そして解放でもあるやもしれぬ。
But perhaps that is fate as well as liberation.
何を言ってるかさっぱりです。
I have no clue what you're talking about. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
さようなら、布川の娘。
Farewell, daughter of Nunokawa.
死ぬことが許されたお前が羨ましい。
I envy you the privilege of dying. What a thing to say to someone!
おや、呼んでもらえますか。
Could you get my mother? Right after Kurokami left the room, my mother came tearfully rushing in. It seemed she'd been told I was in critical condition and might not wake up again. She was elated with belief that I was on the road to recovery, but I knew her joy would be short-lived. It was my body. I knew it best. Just as Kurokami had said, I wouldn't last much longer. It was only thanks to the grace of whatever of that creepy doll that I was staying conscious. And besides, while the doll had arrived looking like it was fresh off the shelf, its hair was now frizzing, and its kimono was tearing, like it stood the test of time. I could barely breathe, but my mind was so clear, so I quickly said what I had to. I didn't have a moment to spare.
お母さん、今までありがとう。お父さんにもありがとうと伝えて。
Mom, thank you for everything. Tell Dad the same.
私、多分もうすぐ死ぬ。そして、時間はわずかしかないの。
I'm probably going to die soon. I don't have much time left.
そのわずかの時間をどうしても捧げたい人がいるの。お願い、呼んで。
No way! You tell your mother. By the way, I'm about to die soon. I don't want to spend my last moments with my family. I want the random boy from school. Man. I mean, denying your child their last wish, I don't think most people would have that in them, but 10 squats while 10 squats while Lydia is died in bed. Sure, sounds good. All right. Thank you, Sato. I hope you're doing well. Alright, 10 squats. It'll give you time to process. Yes, gives me time to put my thoughts in order. Alrighty. 10 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Squat those emotions out. Why is that making me think of Zack Fair in Crisis Core? Where literally he was like squatting, doing squats every time he had like a spare moment. News of Nunukawa's critical condition had reached the LCSC. Ah yes, Mr. Squats. Full on. So many squats. I hadn't spoken to her all that much. But she had given me a ticket to her debut concert, and though we hadn't known each other long, she seemed to enjoy my company. So, I wanted to go visit her in the hospital, but they weren't allowing any visitors. It was then that I got the call. Nunokawa was at death's door, and she wanted to see me before the end. This may sound unfair to her, but I honestly had no idea why she'd ask for me. I mean, that's fair. To Lilia, she spent weeks with your doppelganger, sharing secrets and all that stuff. But, to the real Susuhara, he saw her like 3 times. Normally, you'd want to spend your final moments with the people you cared for most. Like close friends or family. So I didn't have any clue why I took priority above all of them. It'd be like you asking for someone in chat to visit instead of family. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like asking for your MSN, like Discord, like friend or like girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. It's like, hello? Your family's here. World is mine and my funeral. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Some very sad, like I'm picturing this somber affair. Like there was a church ceremony, and then now there was like a reception and a church ceremony, and then as they're lowering the coffin into the ground, Sekai de Ichiban no Hime-sama. I'm crying just imagining it. And I also just feel bad for imagining the family members who would get so upset. There will be murmurs of why was he like this? Oh no! We all have different sides to us that our families don't know and neither our friends don't know. But all together, at Zan's funeral, we'll be like, was this really the right thing to do? There's a side only VTubers get to see. The vague anonymity of chat protects you. Temporarily. I know some, Hello Mem people have seen, like, because of, like, the handshake events and stuff like that. Some VTubers have gotten to really know some of their hardcore fans, and now they can pick them out in rooms where, like, at conventions and concerts and stuff. If that happened to me, I'm like, I'm out. I can never be seen here again. This is too much. It's like anytime a coffee shop, they start knowing my regular order and having it prepared for me, I'm like, I can never come here again. Because clearly I have been here too often. We've developed some kind of social bond, and I am not here for it. Even at work, people will be like, you need to do this. Mika would want you to. Oh my god. Oh, that poor doll. Oh, she told that all on her deathbed. Wow. I feel bad for the doll being called creepy, though. I know why some people find dolls are just, uncomfortable. But I never have. Not even, like, the porcelain ones that, like, really set people off, so I just feel sad for them. I promise to keep her social, like, at 7 or below at all times. Good. You have 3 of them? Very nice, yeah. I used to have really nice porcelain ones I got as gifts as kids. As a kid, I don't know what happened to them. I'm sure, because they were in my childhood home and my parents moved since then, so I'm sure they got... I would hope they at least donated them and didn't just straight up trash them, because there's something incredibly sad to me seeing dolls or stuffed animals that have been tossed aside. Like, they're still in, like, decent shape, but, like, just no one wanted them anymore. I felt like this before I watched Toy Story 2, by the way. 2 or 3, whichever one it was, by the way, so yeah. Someone threw out a stuffed animal and it's sitting by, like, the garbage pile where a lot of people dump stuff at my building, and I'm fighting the urge to take it in because I'm like, I do not. I am a grown adult. I already have so many stuffed animals. I don't need to take in this random one that's been outside for weeks. It's not a real cat. It's just a stuffed cat. You used to get sentimental getting new shoes? It's so interesting what we get attached to. Humans are funny little creatures. I didn't know what to say. Who in the world was the me she kept meeting night after night? I hadn't even seen her once since the day of the concert. I'd gone looking for her group's birth to say hi to her, but in the end, neither Natsu nor I could find it, and you didn't ask for directions? I hadn't spoken to her since the day she gave me the ticket at the shrine. But I didn't know if I should tell her that, because I wanted to believe her. However, she was probably in critical condition because of that thing that posed as me. So all I could do was hang my head, dumbfounded.
先輩からすればわけのわからないめちゃくちゃな話だと思います。
I know none of this must make any sense to you. It must sound crazy.
でも
But
私だって
even if it's crazy,
話してて
I
思いました。
wanted to tell you
わけのわ
about
からない
it.
話。そもそもなんで私の頭の中が先輩のことでいっぱいなのかさ
I don't even know
えわからないんです。
what it is, why it is that I couldn't get you out of my head.
どうして私は
Why
あなたのことが
was I so attracted to you? I couldn't tell her. It was a mystery to us both. Why was it that she took such a liking to me? We're attracted to his soot. That was what Kurokami had said. According to According to Nunokawa, she also said this. The curse seeks soot, so it deceives us. That's the curse.
僕が呪われていると。
I'm cursed?
そんな風なことを言ってましたね。本当に失礼ですよね。
That's basically what she said, wasn't it? Seriously, how rude. I didn't recall getting cursed, but I remembered what Kurokami had told me at the shrine. You're corrupted. Just who was Toei Kurokami? And what did she know? And why was it she weighed so heavily on my mind? My feelings for her sounded a lot like Lydia's for me. An attraction without any solid base, just the most unhealthy relationship in the world. It's fine. Was that the curse?
急に呼びつけてこんなわけのわからない話を
I'm
聞かせて
sorry for calling you out of the blue and telling you this insane story.
僕に何かできることはある？
Is there anything I can do?
はいだから
Hmm,
呼んだんです。
yeah, that's why I called for you.
もし本当に私が若返るなら
If I really do turn young again, as crazy as this is,
その姿を先輩に見てほしいんです。
I want you to see what I look like.
私わかるんです。もうすぐ私というさなぎが帰る
I hate chest bursters. I don't like this. I don't like this.
それを見届ければいいんだね。
And you want me to see that through, right?
はいそして
And
もしそれが ても魅力的だったなら
And if you find that you love the old me,
どうか私を認めると声をかけてくれませんか
could you please say you accept me?
もうすぐだから
Yay, this is like, fucked up, childbirth. Good times. Good times.
大丈夫？今誰かに。
Oh, it's too late!
呼ばないで先輩だけが見て
I just want you to watch so I can give you some really fucked up PTSD.
ふとめくって私の体を見て
PTSD that nobody would ever believe. I mean, her exploded body's gonna be all over the room. I'm sure people would understand that. Pulling back her girl's covers felt the same as taking off her clothes, so I was a bit reluctant. But I fulfilled her wish. I gasped. Her body was so...
綺麗だよ。
嘘今はさなぎだからみっともない姿だと
Indeed, she looked just like a chrysalis, okay? Was what she dreamed of truly lying inside there? Hoping for that just seemed so... Keeping my thoughts from showing on my face was harder than anything else. She believed her most beautiful self was resting inside her, but it was just too difficult to imagine what her ideal was when it was already difficult enough as it was to look at that. Despite that, I lied.
みっともなくなんかないよ。リリアちゃんの綺麗な体だよ。
あらあら。あら、ママ。Her CG looks normal, but I assume some terrifying stuff is going on behind the scenes. Just then, it shook, and she started moaning in agony. Ooh, I heard what sounded like wood cracking. It was the sound of the head of the doll snapping off. Poof. And then, as if that were the signal, time finally came. Why would you ask someone that?
可愛かったら素敵だったそうだって言ってくださいねそれはクルス・リリアとして聞きたいから
Oh, selfish to the end of this one, okay? Wow! Yeah. I knew that I knew that was coming. See? Chest burster. Again, why would you ask someone to watch this? Why would you subject someone to this? A muddy muck like pitch black blood, like amniotic fluid, spewed out of the tear in her stomach and scattered everywhere. I told you she was gonna explode. I told you. It gushed out of her like a geyser, staining the sheets, walls, and ceiling with its filth. Jesus. It sprayed on me too, but I couldn't turn away. That shit's in his eyes now. And somehow she's still alive after that. Didn't expect her to be alive after? Yeah, what the fuck? Even in Aliens, as soon as the chest burster comes out of you, you're dead. Gee! Oh. All this for a boy's acceptance. Just think about that. Just think about that. When you boil this all down, she did all of this because she wanted one dude to say he liked her. Teenagers are fucking terrifying. Cool! A moment later, a misshapen lump of flesh burst forth. VA went nuts with this one. She's like, I'm getting paid for this, I'm gonna go for it. An orange light scattered along with the black muck. I found that sight utterly beautiful. What? The black muck blanketing the walls caught fire the second the sparks hit it. And now he's dead. He caught fire. That went for me too. Amidst the world wreathed in crimson flame, I saw it. Something like black soot spurted from her corpse and formed into the shape of a human. It was a child with horns like withered branches growing out of her head. So we went from Perfect Blue to Rosemary's Baby. It looked like something imitating the body she had wished for. Wreathed in crimson flame and clad in the cursed black soot was the avatar of the curse, looking up at the ceiling and celebrating its birth. It treaded all over the disfigured corpse that was once Lydia. Did you kill Lydia? There was no way I could hold a conversation with something inhuman, but my thoughts must have gotten through to it. Because it looked right at me and curved its lips into a smirk. I readied my fist. It was the only dedication I could offer before God. We gonna one-punch the ghost? He did say his family's martial arts style was like, what? The Susuhara Divine Tribute style? When it saw that thing stared with confusion for a moment before throwing its head back in laughter. It was pointless. You couldn't strike the moon by hitting its reflection. There was no way you could punch something inhuman in human guise. But I couldn't help but try. I wanted Ilya's soul to rest as peacefully as possible. The thing sneered as though it read my thoughts. It shot me a pitying, mocking look. Almost as if it were blaming me for this. Had it killed her? Or did I really bear some curse that brought misfortune to those I approached? Only this thing knew the answer. No. Perhaps the other one knew too. Oh, and that's the end of this chapter. I don't think he survives, because he said he got covered in the soot and everything caught fire, including himself, so he's, you know, it's like Shikitono, he's burning to death. And it's back to school life! Jesus. Achievements, just for the chapter. God. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go refill my water. Back to innocent school life? For now. Alright, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna refill my water, and then we'll keep going for like another hour or so. So hold tight. Wow. Okay, I'm back. Made myself some tea. And while that's steeping, I am gonna have a cough drop / vitamin C drop, because I'm trying not to get sick with all the temperatures going all over the place right now. Alright. So this is, if I'm remembering right, this chapter, IWAIHIME. Gotta stay healthy for metaphor? Exactly. Gonna be doing some long streams. Gotta keep the body in check. Which already takes a lot of effort because I'm very prone to illness. But yes, IWAIHIME is Tsubakiko's story. So she's is the last-ish one, sort of. From what I've seen, there's still quite a bit of content after. Like, you get the chapter that explains everything, and then you get, like, and then at the end of that one, you get the options to pick which of the 3 girls that aren't Toei you get to, like, save and have a happy life with. And then once you save all 3, then you get Toei's ending. So, we're getting there. Though the school was quiet on Sunday, the LCSC's clubroom was abuzz with chatter. The piles of good for the rummage sale had leaked out into the hallway. Today, we were sorting and polishing the merchandise. You gotta make them look real good or they'll never sell. But everyone knows they're used goods, but still, if they look too bad, then yeah. Oh, Lydia! So good to see you back in one piece after your very, very difficult childbirth. Man, she talked about how, like, she was, like, way too tall and all that stuff. But looking... like, I'm using my hand to measure the height between Tsubakiko and her. And it's not that much. It's probably like 5 centimeters. She's like probably 5'3" at most. Probably less still because she's 15 years old in high school. She's probably only cracked 5 foot. It's amazing what trolls on the internet. It's the kind of difference you'd go through just changing position, yeah. But yeah, that just goes to show you how stuff like body dysmorphia and people's really scathing opinions when you're in the public eye can really fuck with you. Because she kept talking about, like, you know, her, like, she was too tall and stuff like that, and, like, her boobs are too big, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all of Tsubakiko's proportions are bigger than yours. The only thing that you have over Tsubakiko is you're taller. And that just shows, like, how fucked up her perception of herself was, because to her agency and to her fans, she only had worth when she looked and acted like a prepubescent child. Which is incredibly fucked up as well. Coincidentally, I went through that in my early days of cosplaying stuff. Because I'm like Lydia, I'm very short still. But I have like that really young baby face proportions and all that stuff. So only time I ever got a lot of likes on my posts and stuff was when I was cosplaying like Wendy from Fairy Tail or Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura, like, you know, the 11-year-olds, and I'm like, this is really fucking with me. Lydia! Did someone say squeaky clean? Just leave it to me! Natsuya, we were having a serious conversation. Could you tone it down just a little?
Lydia-chan, Natsu-kunがおかしくなるから、それはここでは禁止ね。
Hey, Lydia? Maybe you should put the Lily stuff on hold for now. I think it might be more than Natsu can handle. He wanted to change the tones? Thank you. But that's not your, I can appreciate that, but that's not really your decision to make, buddy. You're supposed to ask if, it's alright to change the conversation, because otherwise you could just come off as really insensitive. The voice actors in this game are wonderful. I mean, I very rarely have seen a visual novel where I would say the voice acting is bad. But in this one especially, I'm blown away. They really did turn it up to 11, yeah. Screaming and crying can be hard not to sound weird, but they do good. Oh yeah! My joke is always if you're unsure who a voice actor is for a character, just wait until they start screaming. Cause most voice actors can't, a lot of voice actors can change up their voice and tone, but a lot of them can't maintain it when screaming. So literally, my favorite example is Psychopaths, because Tomokazu Seiki voiced Kagami, but he also voices Gilgamesh in Fate, and wildly he was also the pink-haired boy in Gravitation. So Kagami and Gil have these deep, suave voices, but the second they start shouting, they turn into the 16-year-old kid from the BL. And it just, I'm like, this sort of has ruined the scene. Why does gravitation sound familiar? Cause it used to be. Oh, that's the one. Yes. I was gonna say, even if you aren't into BL, it used to be the biggest thing back in the day. Back in my day, because I mean, before BL flooded the market, you'd maybe get one series every like 3 years, so that's why Gravitation and Loveless had such staying power, because literally that's all there was.
力仕事なら任せてください。夏くん、行こう。
Like, I sound so ancient when I say this, but now when I go to the bookstore and I see all of, like, the BL series and the Yuri, along with the Shonen Jump and stuff, I'm like, if you had told little Diana that one day there would be, like, half of the books, half the manga at the bookstore would be queer, she wouldn't believe you. The Loveless fight scenes were really fun. Loveless was surprisingly not bad, yeah. I understand why it has such a bad rap, because even back in the day, the whole, like, age gap between a lot of the characters was like, but I really liked the indirect social commentary on the fact that you lost your ears and tail once you lost your virginity, kind of thing. Because it led to stuff where, you know, people who are minors had to wear fake ears and tail to hide their secret. And then you run into stuff where, like, a teacher is an adult and she still has her ears and tail and people bully the shit out of her for it, So it's like, the most interesting part of Loveless wasn't the romance or the fight scenes, it was the societal commentary. Suzumun's a lot tougher than he looks. He has been through so much shit you would not even believe, my girl.
庭で毎日修行してる成果ですね。もうバシンバシン。かっこいいです。修行って何ですか？
That sounds so cool. What kind of training is it?
袴姿になってね。藁を巻いた木の幹にパンチパンチなんだよ。
He dresses up in a dojo uniform and hits a tree wrapped in a bunch of straw like punch! Punch! Oh, specifically she says Hakuma, not like a gi. Interesting. Cause gi would be what we usually think of when we think of like someone doing karate or judo. Hakama is basically the outfit Kenshin wears. Like the Hakama are the pleated pants and or like the ones that look like a big skirt. So I'm like, I thought he was wearing a gi, not the kendo uniform. You got a thing for Suzumun now? What? No, of course not! You know, come to think of it, you've been showing up a lot more since Suzumun joined. What happened to being too busy with idol practice? Caught. You're so easy to read. Excuse me. like a cough and a sneeze at the same time. One sec. Okay, there we go. I didn't know you could cough and sneeze at the same time. Apparently my body tried to do both and it was just an aborted effort. Like, you know, when two negatives make a positive, they canceled each other out. And now I'm just crying. Look who's calling the kettle black. You've been coming here more often too, haven't you, Kiki?
春宮先輩もわかりやすいですね。まあ確かにスズムンって可愛いしクールだしそれでいて頼もしいしちょっと気になっちゃう男子だよね。
This boy is about to be split in four by the four girls, I'm calling it. He's literally gonna be quartered.
わかります。鈴原先輩ってどこか他の男子と違うんですよね。
I know what you mean. There's something about Susuhara other boys don't have.
あつたくんが賑やかだから余計そう感じちゃうかもね。
Maybe it stands out more because he's next to someone as wild and crazy as Atsuta.
暑苦しいあつたくんがいるからスズムンの涼しさが際立つ。
Those two are like fire and ice, though I prefer the ice in this case. It's really hard to pick up, but she made a pun. Cause Suzushi is the word for cool. So Susuhara is Suzushi. Susuhara wa Suzushi. Like literally. Cause I'm just cluing in, their names are literally fire and ice as a pun. Cause Natsuya, the Natsu would be summer. Atsuta, the Atsu is hot. Susuhara Suzumu would be cool. So they are literally fire and ice. We all chuckled. Riria and Minobe both nodded when I said Atsuta was still cute in his own way.
でもさ、いいの？裏配だっけ？芸能人って恋愛禁止じゃないの？
But you sure you can talk about this? I thought Flower High or whatever said romance was a big no-no.
恋愛じゃないです。尊敬とか信用です。
I'm not in love with him. I just respect him and hold him dear. Besides, you can have a crush on someone without getting into a relationship.
ヒコッチーだってスズムンとは親戚関係なんでしょ？
And what about you, Kiki? You two are related, aren't you?
いとこ同士は結婚できないんじゃなかったっけ？
Pretty sure marrying your cousin is frowned upon just about everywhere.
スズムとはもっと浸透が離れてるから結婚ももう満タイタイ。
No problema, lemma. She said no momentai. Digimon try. Or, sorry, Digimon Tamers momentai.
じゃなくて別に私はスズムにそういう感情は
But it's not like I'm interested in him in that way. Yeah, you guys are 6 times removed. You're barely related. You probably have some classmates that you're related to, and you don't even know.
お二人ともそうなんだね。ならよかった。
Oh, so that's how it is. Then I guess it's all good.
男子とかはあんまり興味がないオイラなんだけどさ。 スズムンだけは気になっちゃって。
I'm not at all interested in guys myself, but Suzumoon's an exception.
二人が恋愛対象じゃないっていうなら、オイラが先にお手つきしちゃおっかな。
Sounds like you two aren't interested. I think I'll just call dibs.
あ、すみません。手が滑って拭いていたツボが。
Lydia, that's nasty.
私は足が滑って肘が先輩の溝落ちに。
That's even worse! The LCSC had gotten a lot livelier since Suzumu joined. It seemed the others were aware of just how big an impact he had on all of us. Most boys our age were some form of pathetic, irritating, or just plain out of touch with their emotions. I'm sorry for any teenage boys in the chat. I think you all are gonna get roasted this chapter. I was just as interested in romance as any girl my age, but I'd hardly ever met anyone as cool and dignified as Suzumu. We all had our types, but one thing was for sure, Suzumu got top scores among all of us in the LCSC. Of course, we didn't let our chatting get in the way of work. We were good at double tasking. Of course. We met up with Suzumu and Atsuta, and by the time evening approached, we finished sorting out and cleaning the rummage sale goods without a hitch.
はい、みんなお疲れ様。
お疲れ様でした。
いよいよバザー本番も来週となりました。
The rummage sale will be next week.
バザーだけでいいのにな。なんで変なのまで引き受けちゃうんだか。
They should have just let us show up at the rummage sale. Why do we gotta do all that other stuff too?
社会地域奉仕貢献部だからじゃないでしょうか。
Because we're the local community service club, perhaps?
でもお泊まり会がちょっぴりワクワクだね。
Either way, I'm really excited for the sleepover.
俺の場合はむしろ家からの方が近いんだがな。
Well, in my case, my place is actually way closer to the event.
そうだね。夏くんの場合、家が会場の真ん中も当然だね。
That's right. Your home's practically right in the middle of it. The Iwaimoto Shopping District Association would be sponsoring an event next week called the Iwaimoto Happy Fun Carnival. Naruhodo ne. The LCSC would be in charge of its rummage sale. Any earnings would be going to charities, of course, but apparently that wasn't enough community service for us. So we were also supposed to get up early to stand around and prevent illegal bike parking during the shopping district's parade. Oh no, not the illegal bike parking! I actually just saw a tweet about that recently. Where someone would... Because I guess one of the arguments people make in Japan about when people are in the West are like, people in Japan are orderly and follow the rules. People are like, then why are the bikes everywhere? Mayuhin, why do you even accept the job?
Shut up! 地域に貢献、社長こぶって素晴らしい。顧問は一体誰かしら。私、ちやほや。
That voice actress went through about 3 different emotions with that line. Shut up! Doing community service? Wow, the LSC is amazing! So who's their advisor? I get showered with love.
なほど、先生の私利私欲全開だぜ。
Miss Hinagata sure has some priorities, huh?
こういう素直なとこ見習いたいよね。
At least she's honest, I guess.
褒めてもらえることを期待しての奉仕だっていけないことじゃないと思うよ。
I don't think it's wrong to expect some praise out of community service.
そうそう。やらない善よりやる偽善ってね。
Right, Amundo, better to do it for yourself than not do it at all. That's a really good line. Holy shit! Was not expecting a good line out of this game. I am impressed. Wow. And we screenshot that. Put it on the wall. Do it for yourself and all that.
人間褒められることを期待しなきゃ何事もやる気出ませんしね。
It's hard for people to find motivation unless they expect some level of praise for their work.
布川さんはマスク着用でバザーの準備のお手伝いをお願いね。
Nunokawa, make sure you wear a mask when you help us set up for the rummage sale, okay?
芸能人だからね。目立つ仕事はできないよね。
Right, she's an idol. She can't be seen doing this sort of work, huh? It would actually probably be good for her image, honestly.
ステージ以外でマジカルリリーをストーキングする不届き野郎は俺のグレートナックルでぶちのめしてやるぜ。
Go Great Knuckles!
グレートナックルって呼び出しコスト3のカードだっけ？
I was not expecting the Yukio joke. But don't you need to tribute summon 3 monsters to summon Great Knuckle to the field?
そうだぜスサラ。お前は覚えるのが早いな。さすがはグレートな男。
That's right, Suzuhara, you catch on quick.
自転車を止めようとする人にグレートナックルしちゃダメだからね。
Now, nobody's using any great or not so great knuckles on any would-be hooligans. There had been many cases of Susuda Station commuters illegally parking their bikes in the old shopping district just next door. It had become such a problem that the administration finally ran out of patience and designated the shopping district a crackdown zone for illegal bike parking. Maybe you want to put more bike parking at the station, then? I mean, these things arise because there's a problem with service. Oh, and so they just picked the other shopping district. Yep. Unattended bikes would get in the way of the parade. So they asked for us to get up early and patrol the sidewalk to ensure that the streets could stay clean for at least the day of the parade. Of course, this would be a joint job with the Shopping District Association, though they were originally supposed to do it themselves. As for why Miss Hinagata accepted a job like that in the first place...
なので、早朝の仕事に備えて、前夜はお泊まり会を決行して、親睦も深めちゃいましょう。
So to prepare for the job, we'll have a sleepover the night before and have some good old-fashioned bonding time. Uh-oh. A sleepover? Where 4 of the girls like the same guy? Oh, this is gonna be bloody. She really just wanted to have a sleepover now that we had 2 new members to liven up the place. But what could go wrong? Literally, what could go wrong? Everything. But there was no way the school would allow one without good reason. So she volunteered for an early morning security job to give her the justification she needed. Long story short, this was 120% the result of Miss Hinagata's selfishness. Sounds about right. What should we make for dinner that night? Curry is pretty much the go-to in most situations. In the Arcane Minobe Kingdom, the traditional sleepover meal is curry. Ooh, I like it. Seeing some good curry bubbling in the pot is a great way to make you really, really happy. I don't know. We finally got boys around, right? So isn't this time we should be— Oh no! When girls in these rom-coms start talking about showing off their cooking skills to the boys, that means they can't cook. And that means someone's gonna get food poisoning. Oh no. Run, Suzumu! You don't think curry's feminine? Not even if we make the roe? I still don't think it's enough. Then what are you going to make? I'm not sure whether to go Western or Japanese style. With Japanese food, I'd make something classy and boiled. But if we go Western, I can make a solid hamburger steak. You know, it really is hard to mess up a hamburger patty. You definitely can, especially if the pan's too hot and you're not paying attention. But it's pretty foolproof. There's a reason why it's one of the first things kids can make besides, like, you know, pasta. You're sounding more wifely by the second. Hamburger steak is all it takes, apparently. Wow, you're sounding more and more wifey by the second. This is quite the justification. Or not justification, generalization. That's it. Boys definitely tend to prefer a lady who's skilled around the house over one that only looks pretty. I don't know about that. That cooking class in elementary school. Oh no. Sweet, then. Lillian can do the cooking, and I'll set the table. I don't mind, but you do realize that means I'll be getting all the glory, right? I certainly won't be complaining about an opportunity to get in Susuhara's good graces. This is the most Renai dating sim this game has gotten. I'm like bewildered. After all of the horror atmosphere with like the light dash of romance, having these girls talk about what they're going to do to capture the heart of the main boy, I'm like, where am I? Did we swap games without me noticing? Like, I feel like I've been gaslit. Do they have some kind of lingering feelings / memories? Not from what we've seen so far, which is the interesting thing. Because it's like time just keeps marching on. And like the horrible things that happen to each of the girls just don't see, like they seem to have gotten erased. Because originally when Lydia, at the start of Lydia's chapter, they were doing preparations for the rummage sale. And you know, the weeks go by and stuff like that, and now they're like doing the rummage sale, but obviously Lydia's fine. So there's some kind of split timeline stuff happening here, but like the game doesn't full on acknowledge it. So it's like it kind of feels like you're left wondering what was real and what was like just hallucinations. Sort of like Higurashi. I definitely see Ryukishi style in all of this. For dinner the night of the sleepover, we'd be using the home economics classroom. For us girls, this was the perfect chance to show off our feminine charms. Okay. The LCSE was having a meeting at a fast food joint in the shopping district to decide what to cook. I know! Why don't we ask the boys what they'd like? Psst, not like they're gonna suggest anything that'd take real effort. Suzumu, what do you like to eat? Yeah, of course. The line that makes girls weep the world over. Oh, so true. I'm bad for that too, but I try very hard to give a concrete answer because anytime I was dating someone and they would give me that kind of an answer, it was bad timing. It was bad times, especially when you're like, fine, then we'll do this, and then they're upset because they actually don't like what you picked. It's like, well, you said it doesn't matter. It's like, if you had an opinion, say like, I'm not sure, but I think I would prefer something along this lines. But I want, just say like, I'm not really sure, but I want you to pick, but I definitely don't want this. Is there anything you don't like? Nope. I'm good with, grateful for whatever I get to eat. I'm good. I'm okay with everything except 9 out of 10 choices. Yes, exactly. So like for me, it's like, how do I usually phrase it? For me, it's always like, I don't really have a preference for what I want to eat. Like, especially if I'm being invited to dinner at someone's house and they're going to be cooking and they ask what I would like. And I'm like, I don't really have a preference. I'm just happy to eat your cooking. However, here are like the foods that like I really don't like. If you suggest something and it's gonna be, I'm really gonna detest it, then I'll tell you. But otherwise, I'll just eat whatever you feel like making, because I'm just happy to have your food. And most people will try and avoid the things you don't like anyway. Because even though I'll be like, I can just pick peppers out of the food whenever I'm at Iduna's and she's making food, she's like, no, I'm just not gonna put peppers in. I'll just put them off to the side. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. That's the great Susuhara for you. He's not picky at all. What the frickin' Yu-Gi-Oh cards again? Hold it right there. Your attack has triggered my trap card. Are they playing Yu-Gi-Oh? They are playing card games. Quit it. No! The loser will go to the Shadow Realm. They can't stop now. When did this come out? 2016. I'm like pretty sure. But we know Ryukishi tends to set the games in prior decades. Cause like, you know, Higurashi and Umineko were like pre-2000s, but initial release date was October, let's see. Yeah, initial release date was January 29th, 2016. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still really big all the world over, so it's not that weird, but yeah. I mean, they make a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime every year. We don't have anything to go off of if you're fine with whatever. I believe this calls for a different approach. Say, Suzuhara, just hypothetically speaking, what type of woman would you want to marry? She's really gonna drop that landmine on him now? Cute! But just so you know, pressure can be a bit overwhelming.
No! I'm great!
I mean, clearly you did describe her, Natsuya, so what are you worried about? Oh god. This is the first time we've seen like their full sprites. He doesn't even have an opinion! He's... okay. He is... that type that you really end up liking because they're so nice and mature. But then you start dating them and then you realize they're he's actually really, really boring. And then you break up because it feels like he doesn't actually care about anything. I've seen this happen so many times. Oh man.
普通の子というのは家庭的な庶民的な女の子という解釈でよろしいですか？
May I take normal girl to mean a domestic girl next door type?
まあそういうことなのかな。
I guess so?
スズムは家庭的な女の子が好み。つまり肉じゃがとか焼き鮭とかそういうのが好きってことかね？
Yeah, I knew what Lydia was going for with this. If you can't get someone to give their opinion on food, you can guess what they'd like to eat based on other things they like.
なるほど。傾向はわかりました。
I see. I've got a good idea of what he likes now.
先輩方、
Say,
ここ
girls,
は一つ
why don't we make a contest out of this? Oh dear God, here we go.
勝負って
A contest?
まさか3人でそれぞれおかずを1品ずつ作るとか？
Wait, you're gonna suggest we all make our own dishes, aren't you?
そうです。鈴原先輩に誰のおかずが一番美味しかったか
Yes! We'll determine which of our dishes Susuhara likes the best.
勝ったら何かあるの？
What does the winner get?
お泊まり会当日、満天の星空の下、先輩と二人きりで屋上デートをお膳立て。手の
He's right there!
リリアちゃんってば、むっちゃ大胆で私、真っ赤真っ赤だ。おいこら、フラハイは恋愛禁止。
Hold the phone! Again! I thought romance was a big no-no.
恋愛じゃないです。親愛です。
It's not love, it's just affection. It's just skinship, you know?
それに、二人きりだからこそ話せる。
Besides, there are some things that you can only talk about when you're all alone.
私は芸能人クルスリリアとして大成するにはどうすればいいか。
I'd like Susuhara to coach me on how I can still be a hit, even as Lydia Kurusu.
二人きりで？おほ、大胆。
Damn.
イベントは待つものじゃなく、作るものです。
You don't wait for things to happen, you make them happen. Another very good line. Damn. The girls are killing it this time. She was a real go-getter. I was a star for you.
面倒でしたら、先輩が。
But if it's too much trouble, the two of you could just sit this one out.
やっちゃる。
Them's fighting words! Oh no.
2時はな。4時だと思う。
Kinda hard to surrender when you haven't even tried to fight.
上等で。
Splendid! Now, just for reference, what is one of your best dishes, Minobe?
カップラーメンは時計を見なくてもぴったり3分がわ
Oh
かるんだ。
no, not the cup ramen.
なるほど。勝負当日まで実力は
I
明かさ
see.
ない。
So you don't intend to reveal your true skills. No, that's the extent of her skills. You don't understand.
多分違うと思う。
No, I think she's serious. Yeah.
春宮先輩
What about you,
と
Harumiya? Are you in
現象
or out? Huh?
私
You see,
実は春
I'm
宮先輩
actually a bit jealous of you.
ただ親戚
You
関係
get to call Susuhara by his first name simply because you're related. Oh god.
最近は慣れたけど、おいらも最初はこの二人付き合ってんのかな。
I know better now, but yeah, I thought you guys were dating at first.
共演だけど親戚だし、そこは気さくに。
Well, it's just we're related, but we're not like super close, so I was just trying to be friendly, I guess?
裏山けしからんという
Now that's just cheating. Alright, if you abstain from the contest,
鈴原先輩
you'll be banned from calling Susuhara by his first name. You don't get to decide that!
ぎこち勝負しなよ。おいらもするんだから。
But Inia, you don't get to decide other people's interpersonal relationships.
確 か前に言ってなかった？
Did you say you were training for marriage? Yeah, I'm practicing so I can be a wonderful wife. Oh, then there is no reason for you to bow out, is there? Please join in, Hanamiya. Your right to call Susuhara by his first name is on the line, you know. Dear God. Alright, let's call it. We'll call it there. Not sure how much longer the scene will be going, but I did say we'll have to stop at 10:30. Because that's the latest I can go during the week. Because work. Alrighty. I'll mute this and pop us over here. We'll be back to more IWAIHIME tomorrow anyway. So, save that. So, we will be back for more IWAIHIME tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST. We're gonna hopefully finish this before, Metaphor comes out. That's the goal. I feel like we will. We might have to do a longer stream to do it on Thursday. But if I get my request for day off on Friday honored, then I can go later on the Tuesday, or sorry, the Thursday. No problema. It's okay, Metaphor can wait. It cannot! It cannot! Alrighty, guys. For raid, I am gonna send you over to Toko! Toko was here hanging out with us yesterday while we were playing Fields of Mystery for a bit. He's streaming Resident Evil 4! Yeah. So let me shoot you guys over to him for more spoopy stuff. Prepare for the DD raid. I'll post it here for you guys. For once. DD raid. Yay. Boop. There you go. There's the chat message. Or the raid message. Alrighty, guys. Is it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow for more good old slice of life shenanigans. Totally not messed up. We're gonna surely it'll be fine. Alrighty, that's it for me. So if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. And until next time, take care of yourself. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat good food. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!